What's up? What's up? Welcome back here for another recap video. Today, unfortunately, we're sitting break even. So right around break even today, only up $42, enough to get McDonald's with the $20 an hour minimum wage. So, I can still afford McDonald's, which is great. A nice Big Mac. I used to like the Big Mac with a Coke and a large fry. That's what I used to go. When I worked at my first job was I was pushing carts. I was a cart boy. This is when I was 16, 15 and 16. I was a cart boy at the grocery store making $7.15 an hour. On my break, on my 30-minute break, I would drive over to McDonald's and just spend my entire day's pay on a Big Mac, which was like, okay, maybe not my entire pay. It was like maybe $7 or $8 for a Big Mac meal at the time. So I traded an hour's worth of work for Big Mac. Today I'm going to have to sacrifice a full day of trading profits, a few hours of work for Big Mac, $42. The Big Macs are getting expensive. But yes, break even. AMST was a headache. It was a piece of work, down $157. I just could not get on the right side of the trade, and it gave great opportunity. It gave great opportunity, but I was just on the wrong side of the trade. I feel like I was just one step behind. And some days are just going to be like that. And the good thing is, I only lost $150. I could have lost hundreds or maybe thousands on AMST if I tried to fight the stock. The market will always win if I try to fight the stock. So instead, I notice maybe I'm trending in the wrong direction. My P&L is trending in the wrong direction. Bring the size down a little bit. Let's get some base hits and then see if we can turn it around. I never really turned it around, but we did have other stocks I was able to kind of scalp and get green on. BOF, CZU, RILY, and ZPTA, which I'm actually small red on. So AMST, we can take a quick look. It was hectic. I can show you a little bit of the trades, the scalping trades. It's quite embarrassing. I was just literally on the wrong side of every single trade here. So too early on the dip there, cutting it at the low as it just teleports back up to 380. It would have been in the green. Now trying to buy the next dip, thinking it's super strong, and I'm thinking we're gonna get a rip through the highs. And I just keep buying dips and keep taking my small loss. Keep buying dips and keep taking my small loss. That's kind of what happened here in AMST. But if I would have timed that low perfectly down here on that first opening range dip, that could have been a nice 20-cent win. That would have put me in the driver's seat. But instead, I'm down $121. I was even trading pre-market this morning. And recently, I've just been naturally waking up at 6:45 a.m. Usually, I wake up around 8:30, so I don't trade pre-market. But recently, I've been waking up at 6:45. And so I'm like, all right, what am I supposed to do with my life? 6:45, I'm sipping my coffee. And of course, I have to take a look at the market. And when I start taking a look at the market, of course, I get sucked into the trading world. And I start trading pre-market, wasting orders, digging myself a little bit of a hole, giving myself some work. But we got to stay disciplined. We can't be trading outside of our window. There's some times where I do allow myself to trade pre-markets. If it's a hotter market, we have good momentum, but recently it's just been so slow pre-market. But ideally, I need to wait for my orders. Save my orders. But anyways, yeah. So all these scalps here, as you've probably been witnessing, is just terrible, absolutely terrible. I'm down 140. Okay, forming a low here. All right, that's a decent trade, 6 cents. All right, but small size because I'm trying to get back in the groove. Okay, are we doing a red to green here? I'm thinking, all right, maybe we do the red to green. Maybe we see the rip through the high, and we sell off back down. Okay, let's buy the dip. Let's see the dip here. And, okay, let's buy the dip. A little bit too early, cutting it for a small loss. Okay, maybe a dip here. Okay, nope, cutting it small loss. Too early. Oh, maybe a dip here. Oh, nope, too early, cutting it again for a small loss. So that was the cycle that I was in here on AMST. Now I'm down 150, maybe it was 160, something like that, maybe on the low. And yeah, I hit my desk a couple times. I took my hand and went a few times today. Usually I'm pretty good, but I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe I got filled. How did I get filled at this price? How did I get... Are you kidding me? Are you not filling me at the right price? And sometimes I let it get to me. Sometimes I let it get to me. My accuracy about 50%, risk reward 1-to-1. So I had no edge today. Well, with the trades that I took, I had no edge. Here I'm trading RLY. Man, that's a mouthful. RILY. This one was pretty decent. I didn't really press size though on that, but I made like $30 on it. AMST. Okay, we're going for the red to green. I don't get aggressive. I just don't trust this thing. And I'm still down $120. We get the nice rip. Okay, let's see how I play this. And it's just the level 2 is fluctuating so much. And by the time I hit buy at the certain price, I get filled at a completely different price. Like by the split second between I hit buy and the order gets filled, that like quarter of a second, my entry is gone. And the same thing coming out. The split second where I hit sell at the price that I want, and the quarter of a second, the blink of an eye that I get filled, that small bit fraction of a second changes price and my edge is gone. Like the entry, the exit's gone, the profit's gone. I'm selling for break even or for a small loss. Trying to fish for this low is stressful as well. Part of me just didn't trust it. I couldn't trust this stock. I just couldn't. But this next candle definitely gave signs that it was bottoming out. The way I could tell is that, okay, we don't go here. Okay, we don't go here. I take it off for break even. We're coming down. We make the 1 minute new low. Okay, a little bit too early there. What am I doing? What am I doing? I gotta be patient. This is way too early in the dip. Look at this. Okay, I'm thinking maybe double bottom, but nope. Before I know it, I'm down. What is that? I was in at 401. Out at what, 94? Okay, 97. 5 cent loss on that. But, you know, it could have been avoidable. I just got to be a little bit more patient on the dip. I was too early. I've been too early on every single dip. All the way down here, early. Dip, early. So maybe it was a little bit antsy today. It was a little bit stressed from pre-market. I have no idea. But today just wasn't my day. But you could tell we were starting to find some buyers in this area because we made the 1 minute new low, started forming the bottoming tail, reclaiming the previous low, the previous 1 minute candle low. And this is a 5 minute breakout, 1 minute pullback setup. This is a classic momentum setup. So I need to be in long here for the break of the high. But, you know, every time it kind of dipped back down and kind of, I just didn't want to catch like a flash sell-off, you know, back down to 380. So anytime I saw selling coming in below 4, I was panicking out because I had no conviction. So anytime it came down, I would be selling and getting shaken out. I mean, at 397, that's a great entry. 397. Okay, back now it's at 396. Okay, back up to 401. So anytime we dipped below 4, we were getting bought back up. Every time it dipped below, we we're getting bought back up, forming that bottoming tail. Once you start getting to the end of the 1 minute candle, and it starts forming that bottoming tail and solidifying that bottoming tail, you want to look for that next candle to go just like this. Just buyers just coming right in, and boom, there it is. I added to that position, not a terrible trade. I was in at, 397, then added at 403, and then sold at 406 and 416. So by all means, that wasn't a terrible trade. but I do end up, you know, giving all that back. Well, I'm already still red, 114. I ended up having more losing trades. And kind of like the price action scalps post breakout were also very, very tough. Because the level 2 is fluctuating so much. What else do we have here? Oh, that was a terrible trade. What the heck? So here I'm in. What happened here? Look at this. This is the one that really took me for a spin. This one got me worked. This is when I slammed the desk. Okay. So we're pulling back. Look at the bid here at 426. Okay, 426. Let's wait for that next 1 minute pullback. Let's get in on the dip. Let's see if we can time this dip. Okay, 425. Okay, we're getting chipped down on the bid. We should see a dip. Boom, there it is. 414 on the bid. I should be buying right now. And I guess I was slow as molasses this morning. And I buy. It looks like the price is still showing 416 on the chart. But on the DAS trader, it's 424. And I'm hitting buy thinking I'm getting filled at 414. And I'm getting filled at 424. And of course, you know, we pop back up and I'm selling for a loss. 418. 6-cent loss. So, you know, that kind of put me right back down to close to 150, minus 150 again. Well, yeah, on that stock, minus 150. So, I do end up restarting Dash Trader just to kind of resync maybe. That's not bad either. A quick scalp there, 6-7 cents. But, you know, I just can't, like, oh man. And then this flush, holy crap. Okay. Oh, too early on the dip again. Let's watch this. This was like classic small cap. This is classic small cap action right here. Classic. Look at this. We're getting that dip. I'm thinking, all right, okay. I'm thinking the dip is going to be here. Ready? Boom. Okay, dip. All right, let's get long. 417. 419, out at 414. Somehow I'm out at 414 when the price is back up at 420. And then we flush down 30 cents down to 380. Buying the dip at 388. This is some risky stuff. Getting that quick pop, selling. Okay, 388 to 394. Not a bad dip. That was not bad. But yeah, I didn't really have any big winners. I just kept getting chopped around. You know, I would make a little bit. I had some decent trades in there, but I had a whole lot of just small losses adding up. A whole lot of small losses. We had BOF. BOF was okay. It didn't really give much of a range. That's just a problem with BOF. AMST, man, look at this back, like these drops. Crazy drops. Dip traders getting wrecked on AMST. BOF, this one, it was kind of trading like those stocks, AGBA and NIVF from a few days ago, for the past few days. You know, very tight spread, thick on the bid and the ask. It's a little bit easier to read because you can kind of trade off of those the bid stacks. Or if you see a big bidder, you can kind of trade off of that and use that as your stop loss. So I was able to get some green on that, just quick scalping, like 1 or 2 pennies, up 171, and that's what got me back to break even. So BOF kind of trading it mostly in this area and maybe a little bit in this area, but not even the best. Like this is like B quality, to be honest with you. This is like C plus B quality. You know, very tight range, not much momentum. You know, we're not seeing like that breakout, pullback, and then that next 50-cent leg, and then holding highs, consolidating for another couple minutes, 5 minutes or so, getting like a 5-minute pullback or ABCD's pattern, and then ripping another $1 a share. But that's like the market that I'm waiting for. But yeah, right now it's just trying to manage your risk as best as possible, you know, and trying to just scrape by a little bit of profit, go sideways at minimum, maybe a little bit of green, you know, over the course of a couple of days or a couple of weeks, and then once it starts to pick back up, then starting to get aggressive a little bit more, trading a little bit aggressive setups, maybe a bigger size, buying higher, selling higher, or adding higher. Could also be adding higher, but right now, if you trade like that, you're gonna get smoked. You're gonna get smoked if you trade like that. But yeah, we can take a look at the statistics. So after fees, 30 bucks, so enough to get a Big Mac. Like I said, 50% win rate, so a little bit on the lower end, but 50% is my minimum. Anything below 50%, I need to definitely review, with extra eyes or extra keen of an eye, because there's definitely some mistakes. But 50 to 60% is my sweet spot. Anything outside is definitely a red flag, either to the higher end or to the lower end. So largest win, only $73. So not any big winners today. Not any specific setup that I liked. I think the best setup, we can take a look at some of the best setups today. That red to green on AMST that we looked at, that was probably a better setup of the day. And there's another setup on CZOO that we can take a look at that I didn't trade. I wasn't even looking at CZOO, but risk reward 1-to-1, not the best. Not the best. It's probably because I didn't have any outsized winners. I didn't have any conviction, and I didn't size into any winners, which is fine. On a day like today, on a slower day, it's fine to be sideways. It's fine to be small red or small green. The main thing you don't want is to be capitulating deep in the red. You don't want to be down 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 average green days on a day like today, because the opportunity just wasn't as plentiful or as strong. So that was the statistics. We can take a look. So yeah, like I was saying, the other best setup was CZOO, the halt setup. I wish I had this recorded, but I wasn't looking at it. But we did have the halt up here, and then we had the dip to the previous halt highs, previous halt level as support, and ripping up. Crazy range there. If you could have timed that, maybe you don't get filled at 1050, but you get filled at 1060, 1065. That's still like $1 a share range on that candle. Very nice. So that definitely could have made your day if you were looking at it. But it was still very early in the move. It would be hard to tell if this would be, a momentum trade or if it would just be a low volume pump and dump, because at this point it was only showing 52,000 shares per 1 minute candle. So very tough. But if it's halted up, on the other coin that you have to think about is like, if it's halted up, there's obviously people looking at it. It's strong enough to be halted up, which is already, a sign of strength. And then 2, after it's halted up, it has 5 minutes. Most of the time it's a 5-minute halt. It has 5 minutes hitting everyone's gap scan and halt scanner and alert scanner. So it's going to attract more eyes. So on that resumption candle, it's going to probably have a lot more volume after gathering that attention. So you can kind of use that as a little bit more confidence to actually go for that momentum trade, which is the dip and the rip. So beautiful there on CZOO. We had another halt up, but we opened. I'm not sure what happened in the formation of this candle because I wasn't looking at it, but it looks like we got the dip and then another rip, a little bit more delayed, but still, it still applies, the dip and then the rip. But yeah, it's a great momentum strategy to learn. I know it's a little bit of a scary one because when a stock's halted, it means that it's very volatile, high volume, is very risky. But if you can practice on small size of those halt trades, those are the types of trades that can pay out very good and can make your day. But unfortunately, I wasn't looking at CZOO to take advantage of it. I was busy trading BOF, and this is BOF. But so that was the day. Break even, like I said. I'm not going to sweat it. Just another day, and today is behind us, or behind me, behind you guys. If you guys are red, if you guys did well today, congratulations. It wasn't that easy of a day. I thought AMST was very difficult. So congratulations for those who got green. And if you're red or if you're break even like me, don't sweat it. Tomorrow the market will open up again, and no matter how good or bad you did, if you did a great job today, newsflash, you have to do it again tomorrow, and you have to do it again the next day, and the next day, and the next day. So don't allow your emotions to take advantage of you for the upside or the downside. So, and if you are even red, don't beat yourself up, because you also have another opportunity tomorrow, and an opportunity the next day, and the next day, and the next day. So don't beat yourself up, but also if you're winning and you're in a hot streak, don't be overly enthusiastic, or don't celebrate. Don't over celebrate. Don't be don't get your heads up into the clouds, because once you start getting your heads up into the clouds, thinking that you're unstoppable, you're on a green streak, this is just so easy, you're going to get beaten so hard by the market. The market's gonna bend you over and give you a nice firm beating. So I learned my lesson with that. Celebrating on a green streak, thinking I'm all that and all confident, thinking I know exactly what's gonna happen, to only be so oversized in a crappy setup and refusing to accept the loss, because I need to be right, because I need to keep the green streak going. I got to keep my confidence high, because that's all on the line. If you're on a green streak, all that's on the line. Like, it starts to become like subconscious. It's like your ego and your subconscious is like, I got to keep this going. It feels so good. It feels so good. I'm like on such a good hot streak, and all of those emotions, your self-worth, your confidence is on the line when you start taking a losing trade. And accepting a red day becomes even that much harder. So it's important to keep ourselves in an emotional equanimity, and with emotional equanimity we can make sound decisions to either walk away, or to keep trading, or to manage our risk and sizing down, cutting losses, or if it's a really hot day, being more aggressive. So I'm going to leave you guys with that. Thanks for tuning in. Hit that like button for me on the way out. Hit that subscribe button if you are a new viewer. I'd love to have you part of the community. Check out the links down in the description, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Peace.